Hello everyone, welcome to Salesforce Atlas. My name is Dorissa. If you're new to the channel, it's really great to see you back in my channel, and it's really great to be back. And as you can see, I have changed my background. Unfortunately, it's not my real background. I'm only using one of the virtual backgrounds as mine isn't as nice and as amazing, and I really hope that you only focus on the content of the video and not what's behind me. And in today's episode, I would like to discuss Salesforce reports. And for those of you who are new to Salesforce, this might be very useful. You may not be a Salesforce administrator and you're using Salesforce as a user. If that's the case, then it will be perfect for you just to start with Salesforce reporting and really understand where to find Salesforce reports, how to navigate around reports, fields, columns, and the filter area, filter pane, and generate your own reports without going to your Salesforce administrator each time you need a new report or you want to make some changes. As always, I'll be sharing my screen, and here you can see I'm in one of my Salesforce Trailhead playgrounds, and I have opened already a reports tab. For some of you who think that perhaps you can generate reports in specific object lists, that's not really the case. Here we have list views, and these list views aren't really reports. You can add charts and you can add filters. However, you can't export list views, and you can't add list views to any dashboards. Therefore, there's a difference. Just to start with, list views aren't reports, and I'm going to click on this reports tab where you can start with generating a new report and creating a new template. Now, if you click on new report, you can select out of all your standard and custom objects, report type, and think about the fields you will want to pull from your objects. Let's go into opportunities. I'll select opportunities, then I can think even more specifically about if I want to create reports, opportunities with products, opportunities with contact roles, opportunities with partners, competitors. So these are other objects. We are looking at two objects, opportunities and the product object. I'm gonna go with the standard opportunities, only one single object, and click start report. Now here, when you start a report, you can start by naming it. Just edit the report name, go to the filters pane, and in the filters pane, the great thing about reporting is you can create a report that is all around your personal opportunities. In this case, I'm using opportunities, and this can be as well show me all my accounts or my cases. If you later want to create a dashboard based on similar report or this report that is only aimed at your individual opportunities or cases, then definitely look into selecting show me my opportunities. And if the whole team of 20 users are going to be using the same dashboard, each time they open the dashboard is going to be showing them their opportunities or their cases. And if that's not the case, if you want to see all opportunities, then again, we can change this to show me all opportunities. So then you will see all opportunities based on other filter criteria, and this could be a close date, or maybe you want to see all opportunities. So created date could be all time. And if we select it, now it is loading and it should show us all opportunities created all time. You can also select opportunity status and probability. And in here we have all opportunities. Now in the outline, you can also add some more filters, and in the outline you can select fields Now, if I open the fields section, you can see all fields that are related to this object. And when you're thinking about the opportunities page layout, if you open here opportunities in the new tab, now Salesforce is opening opportunities, and all the fields that you see here in the fields section are coming out of this page layout. And you even get to see fields that aren't on the page layout if you have access to these fields. So if you're thinking about the opportunity, let's say you want to see close date, amount, opportunity owner, and expected revenue, then you just drag and drop the fields to the columns section, and then later you can also group the rows. Now you can, let's say, move and sort them by the stage. Now this view is going to change, and now we have grouped rows by the stage. And we have all these stages: prospecting, qualification, value proposition, and decision makers. And in this bottom section, you can decide whether you want to see detailed rows. So if you close it, then you will only see stage and the record count. And let's go back and see more detailed view. We have stages and all the fields that opportunities report type comes with. So we can also remove some, let's say, lead source. Next step, you can just close all these, remove all these fields. You can also think if you want to see subtotals and the grand total. And next as well, in the filters, if we go back to the filters, there are extra options. We can also add the cross filter. And if you add the cross filter, you can, without displaying this in your report, you can filter opportunities with, let's say, with orders. Now this isn't going to show up in your report. However, you can add extra additional field values. Let's say order and date, and you can pick a date, so you can go into more detail here. This is a new feature. I'm not too sure when this was launched, but not that long time ago. And the cross filters is a really good tool as well. Unfortunately, it's not showing up here in the reporting, but this is another thing, how to narrow down your search. Now I'm going to remove this, and I'm not going to be using any cross filters. Now it's back. And with reporting, now in the outline, have I mentioned everything? All right. We can also create a bucket column or bucket field. And with the bucket fields, you're basically creating a new field on your report. It is not going to show up in your page layouts. You can sort. Let's say we're taking this amount field, and I'm going to name it amount bucket, and we can see pretty large amounts. So let's say if a deal size is 10,000, and we're adding another row, 10, then 10 to 70, and anything above 70,000. Now we can also name it low, medium, and high. And let's just apply. Now another field will appear on this report. Now I'm going to just scroll all the way to the right, and now we have sorted as well the amount opportunities with amounts, and I can clearly see high opportunity amount, medium, high, medium, and I can even sort this bucket and group it. So I can add it to the grouped fields, and this should appear at the very top. And even here, let's say, now we can see all medium, high, and low values. And if you want to prioritize, you can just follow these deal values. Now that's just an example, but you can play around with as well with the bucket fields. Now I'm gonna I'm going to make this a detail column. And here another thing about reporting, the little filter that I used. If you click on the arrow button here, you can filter or you can sort your field by ascending, descending, group rows by this field, so then it will move to this section, group columns by this field, then it's going to add it at the top, and we will see a nice view, closed one, prospecting, qualification, value proposition. So it has grouped them very nicely, and you can clearly see the numbers. High, medium, we haven't got any opportunities in the low amount bucket, as I can see from this view. Now I'm going to put it back, make a detail column, and make this a detail column too. Now again, if I click on the arrow, then you can create a bucket out of this stage, out of this field. So then it will redirect you to the view that I had previously for the amount bucket. You can also show a unique count. All right, I'm back in this view and I accidentally closed the previous report. So I quickly created another one. And now about the show unique count. Now this unique count is going to show you how many opportunity stages we have. Actually, it is right here. The unique count will show you if we have 9 stages, so separate stages, or 10 separate stages. And here, if you select show us the unique count for account name, it will show us how many individual account names we have here in the opportunities. So let's say we have 30 opportunities and we only have 20 accounts, so some of them have more than one opportunity. This will show you the unique count of account names. So what else do we have here? It's very easy to move these columns around, so you can move it by clicking, then drag and drop to any place you need, and you can do the same here. In the columns section, you can either remove everything you don't really find useful and then move maybe something more useful to the top of the list. Now by just drag and drop, sometimes it doesn't work with the first try, so you have to be patient and just again take it and move it to the top. Let's say now I have moved it to the third column, and after a quick refresh it is right here. And the really great thing about reports is that you can save it. Once you save it, let's just save it as a test one. You can select the folder where you would wish to save this report, and keep in mind if it is going to be your private report or you're going to be sharing it with other users. And if that's the case, then I would suggest saving it in a public folder where other users have access to. But this is just for display, and I'm saying if it to private reports, that's completely fine by me. And now we will see the final result of this report, and haven't really created anything special here, but we can see how columns look like, and we have total amount of records. So you can imagine you can actually group these and make it more specific and add filters. Actually, if we go back to filters, we have a filters pane in here. That's what we had. I only changed show me all opportunities instead of my opportunities. If we go back, I haven't discussed filter logic with you, which is very useful, and all Salesforce admins are using this. Let's select close month. Another interesting thing here, we can select, if that's a date field, we can select the operator. It either equals the month you choose, or you can select not equal to, less than, greater than, or greater or equal, less or equal. And we'll say greater than, or no, less than, and let's pick a date. Click on this calendar icon and let's go to 2021. Yeah, 25th. And all right, let's do greater or equal to 25th of September. Now in the type, we don't want all, we only want new customers. Apply. Let's look at the new customers, and we can also select the stage. Like here, I have it right here. And the stage, let's say we want to see closed won opportunities, new customers and closed won. By default, if you're not adding any additional filter logic, then everything here is show me all opportunities and created date all time and opportunity status any and all probability and new customer type and closed won stage. Now, if I'm adding some logic to this filter criteria, then I just need to click add filter logic, and with numbers we can select, we can just change this to or, and then it will be show me all this plus either new opportunities or all opportunities with the stage name closed won. Now I have a longer list, and as you can see, we have here in the type, we have new customer, and we also have existing customer upgrade, but their stage name is closed won. So it's all this plus either this or that. So with the filter logic, also suggest you to play around with it and just test it how it works. This is a little bit about the filter logic, and in the outline, something about the columns. In the columns, we added the bucket column. However, I haven't showed you add row level formula. I do have a video about it, so if you are interested, you can just pause this video and quickly jump to the add row level formula, as I talk about it in some more detail, and it's very, very good tool as well. Just good to know about it. And now if I go back to where I left it, now let's say we want to run this report, and one of the features and one of the things that you can't do with list views, you can't subscribe to list views. You can subscribe to reports. You can't add list views to dashboards, whereas you can generate dashboards from reports. That's how they work. And another thing is that you can also export to Excel file. And what else do we have here? Yes, add to dashboard, everything that I mentioned. And if you're interested in subscribing, so you don't really have to subscribe and send this to yourself. The really great thing is that users can receive this. There is a limitation, so users should actually learn how to do this themselves and subscribe to report. There is a limitation to how many reports or dashboards you can subscribe to, and that's 7. So you can personally subscribe to, not even personally, it's either for yourself or other users, only to 7 reports or dashboards. If you don't want to open a report every morning and just make it your habit opening a report every morning, then you can schedule this report and it will come to your email, and you can do it daily, weekly or monthly. You can pick the days, you can select the time, even add an attachment and select the recipients, either send it to yourself or another person, and select all the people that you want to send it to. And you can also add a condition to this and email options. You can send a summary and report or summary only, and receive it in your email. And with exporting, you can select. You can see if you can export files. Maybe your users can't really export data for security reasons, but you can do it in a formatted report or details only. That either details only, and it can be as well .csv file. It really depends on you and how you're planning to use this report. Maybe you want to update it and later import it with a data loader. Now, data loader is using CSV files, and it is easier to export data in a CSV format, so you don't have to change anything later. And then when you save it, now we created the folder. I saved it in my private folder, but it's important to think about your folders. Now let's see, we have some sample folders here, and it's often users are sharing reports and they are not aware that they can't actually see another user's reports just because they are in a different folder. So once you have moved report to the right folder, then you can click share here in the drop down arrow. You have share. You can select users and the view and the access level. Either they can view it, they can edit, or they can manage the folder. If they can manage the folder, they can also manage and they can also edit all of the reports inside of this folder. So this is one of the things that you can as well look into, who can access this. You can either share it with the users, roles, or role internal and partner subordinates, role and internal subordinates, or public groups. Maybe you have one single public group, like all internal users, and to make it easier for people to edit things in this specific folder, you can provide everyone with this internal user group name. So that would be all internal users with the edit access, and click done. So that would be done. And with the reports as well, one of the things that I haven't actually mentioned, in the report you can also create charts. And these charts, it depends if you're using this report as a report and you're not adding it to any dashboard. But if you are creating later a dashboard, then you want to generate multiple reports. Remember that a single report can't do everything, all the work, because if you want to get everything from the report, you want to get the value, you want to see as well the close date, you want to see the stages and various, you want to group everything in the single reports. There will be a limitation because you can't really do this. However, you can add multiple reports to a single dashboard and make it visually easy to read. So if you are using this report as a report only and you're not adding it to any dashboards, then as you can see, add chart is grayed out because I haven't grouped any rows. So first I would need to group this field, and once I have grouped it, so it can actually filter some more data and it can select some fields for the chart. So now we can add a chart, it's not grayed out anymore, and we can also add amount field and we can add it right here. Now we have stages and amount, and if I click add chart, then it add chart. Now I have some sample view. These are chart properties, and in the chart properties we can see and we can display this chart as a bar chart, column, stacked bar, stacked column. Let's click on it, either line, donut, funnel, and scatter plot. So you can see what you prefer using, and I'm sure it will depend on your data and what you have in this data. And the chart attributes, in the chart attributes you can add a chart title, then you can select what is going to be your y-axis. Is it going to be amount or a stage? Now the stage was much better. So we have these stages and then we have amounts. We have stages and we have record counts. So we have 1 in prospecting, 2 in value proposition, and you can see here we have 18 in closed won. And you can add some more fields, you can group. Now we have these values as well. Now here in closed won, we have 2 records in £50,000 closed. So two opportunities were closed with £50,000 value. And we also have, you can either show reference line, show values. We have values here. It is easier to read with values. Now we can see we have this 111 and then the legend position. So it's going to be either on the right either here on your, all right, closed it, either on your right or at the bottom. So this is the legend here. And again, with the charts, it's easier to play around and see and think what you're looking for exactly. And the most important thing about creating charts is about presenting data in the most readable way. So you can see maybe the best chart type for this report would be a donut chart. So it's easy to read. I have 18 records in closed won. I have 1 in prospecting. I have 3 in proposal price quote, 2 in decision makers, 2 in negotiation and review. As you can see, it's easy to read, and now my users wouldn't have to think too hard what exactly does this chart mean. And I can just quickly close it as well. Now, that was a very quick introduction to Salesforce reports, and probably for those of you who are working with reports daily, this is nothing new. There are still people who are joining Salesforce and new users who are new to the platform, and they're not too sure how to use it, and maybe they have a lot of various systems to use, and I'm sure you will find this useful. And just know there's nothing scary about it. You can always try, you can delete as well if you're just testing something, and reach out to your Salesforce administrator for any questions. Well, I hope that you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time again. Bye bye.